women who helped make Juneteenth an actual federal holiday. Oakland Congresswoman Barbara Lee tweeting this message today. My ancestors were born into slavery in Galveston, Texas, where officials arrived 158 years ago to enforce the Emancipation Proclamation. The fact that I, as one of their descendants, am now serving in Congress and voted to make Juneteenth a national holiday is a testament to progress.
Congresswoman and U.S. Senate candidate Barbara Lee joins us live now. Welcome and happy Juneteenth.
Nice being with you, and happy Juneteenth to you too.
What does this day mean to you?
Well, first, it means that we actually put into federal law a federal holiday commemorating the end of slavery. Now, I was born and raised in Texas, in El Paso, Texas. My grandfather was born in Galveston, Texas in 1867, 2 years after General Granger came to Galveston with Union soldiers to announce that 2 years before that, the Emancipation and Proclamation had been signed. And so my great-grandmother was born, her name was Fannie Wilson. She was born during slavery in Galveston, Texas. Last year, I was able to visit Galveston for the very first time, and let me tell you, I found grave sites of my ancestors, and it was quite a moving moment for me. Having said that, when we moved from Texas, we moved, of course, to the San Fernando Valley and continued with my friends in Los Angeles and the Valley to celebrate and commemorate Juneteenth. But not a lot of people knew what Juneteenth meant. It's a commemoration and celebration. So now, because of the holiday, so many people are recognizing and understanding and beginning to learn a lot about what it meant to be enslaved, our ancestors, for over 250 years. So it's an American holiday. And I hope that this moment gives people a chance to understand more the plight of African Americans as it relates to being enslaved and the progress we've made, but where we are now in terms of systemic racism and all the work that still remains.
Well, it is most definitely raising awareness and educating people. But unfortunately, Congresswoman, there are some people who are critical of today and don't really see the need for it. So what do you say to those people who are critical of it? And what is the proper way to celebrate Juneteenth?
Well, first, we have to know our history, because if we don't know our history in this country, you're bound to repeat it. And those people who don't understand this really don't understand the historical context for discrimination and systemic racism as we speak. When you look, and I have to cite this because this is a very recent phenomenon. When Donald Trump was in office, he had an immigration policy that was about removing and separating children from their families at the border. I went to San Antonio and El Paso and McAllen and all over the border states and saw these children separated from their parents, sleeping under mylar blankets. And you know what? That was a government-sanctioned policy, as it was a government-sanctioned policy during the Middle Passage upon arrival on the shores of America to separate children from their families. Donald Trump enacted what had been already a policy of this country many, many years ago. And so we have to recognize that we have to remember, we have to understand the past, and we have to know that we cannot repeat the past. And so those who say that this is, shouldn't happen, they need to understand why this is such an important day for all Americans to understand, because if you don't know your history, you're bound to repeat it.
Yeah, we were just looking at video of President Biden giving you one of the pens when he signed this. You were a big part of all this happening. The idea of where we're at in terms of race relations, obviously central to this discussion, and central to the presidential campaign right now. Tim Scott is running, senator from South Carolina, black man, who says the fact that we've had a black president and that he's had been so successful himself, and there's so many black leaders, including you, who have been so successful, is proof that we have had a lot of progress on all of this. And some of what the left says about systemic racism is no longer true. He says, quote, "The truth of my life disproves their lies." What's your response to Senator Tim Scott and people who say similar things as him?
Well, it's outrageous. First of all, a few of us have made it, yes. Many of us have made progress. Yes, this country has made progress. But when you look at systemic racism, you've got to look at mass incarceration rates, the disproportionate rates of African American in jail for minor crimes, where you see white people who are in jail, where they receive lesser sentences and they don't go to jail disproportionately as much as African Americans. When you look at the COVID pandemic and the health disparities, you can't tell me that we made that much progress in terms of health care. When you look at the fact that Black maternal mortality rates off the scale, some of the highest in the world. When you look at the unsheltered population, majority African Americans, when you look at the wealth gap, huge gaps. When you look at the average income of a Black family here in my own district in Oakland, the average income of a family for $45,000, $47,000. You can see economic disparities, you see employment disparities, you see healthcare disparities, criminal justice disparities. All of these systemic policies show me, show you, show the rest of the country, we have a long way to go. So whatever Senator Tim Scott says about him, I mean, fine. Whatever anyone says about me, fine. That's great, you know? But look at the majority of people who are low income and poor, the disproportionate numbers of people living in poverty are African Americans. And so you can't tell me that the systemic issues have been addressed. We've got to fight for everyone. We've got to fight to make this a country lives up to his creed of equal of opportunity for all, not just for some.
Of course, Tim Scott, the only Black male Republican in the Senate. There are no women of color in the Senate right now. Barbara Lee trying to become a woman of color in the United States Senate. Barbara Lee, thank you for coming on. And again, happy Juneteenth to you and your family.
Happy Juneteenth to you too. And thank you for having me.